Okay, so I honestly don't even know where to start because my brain feels like a blender right now. Like, you ever have those moments where you're watching something insane happen in slow motion? You know it's gonna end bad, but everyone else is acting like you're the one being dramatic? Yeah, that, my dad, 60 years old. Drives Uber sometimes because his retirement money wasn't stretching enough. Translation, he likes feeling useful, but also refuses to budget. He's always been impulsive, big gestures, big emotions. The kind of guy who will drive 3 hours to bring you soup if you say you have the flu, but also buy a boat on a Tuesday because life is short. Anyway, 2 months ago, he picks up this girl, Sarah, from the airport. She's 21, blonde, tiny, kinda has that messy eyeliner look like she just stepped out of a music video. Apparently she tells him in the car that she's homeless. Next thing I know, he's paying for her hotel just for the weekend. Except the weekend turned into her basically living there, and then he gets her a job at some cafe his friend owns, then a car. A car. Like here, you go honey, just sign here kind of car. And I wouldn't even know all this if it wasn't for the fact that he borrowed $3,000 from me in February because his brakes went out and he had to get them replaced same day. Funny thing though, a week later, I'm scrolling on Instagram and see Sarah posting a story of her with a brand new Coach bag and caption, "He spoils me, kiss, kiss, kiss," tagged with a location literally 2 blocks from his house. I sent it to him. He said, "Oh, that's just a silly filter thing. You know how kids are." Like, sir, I'm not accusing her of running an international money laundering ring. I'm saying she's holding a bag that costs more than my rent while you're telling me you can't afford toothpaste without coupons. Group chat snippet, me plus my brother plus our cousin. Me, guys, dad just told me he's helping out a friend and can't come to dinner. Ben, is this the hotel girl again? Me, yeah. Lena, LOL, maybe she's his friend in the biblical sense. Me, Lena, no Ben. Lena, yes. But here's the thing. People have tried to warn him, like actual phone calls from strangers. One was her friend, who apparently still follows her on Snap, and says Sarah is still living with her ex. Another time her ex's mom called him, like full on tracked him down and said, "She's using you. She's still with my son." And every time Sarah's like, "Oh, they're just jealous. They don't want me to be happy." And my dad believes her, which, fine. He's a grown man, but it's so surreal watching him become this teenage version of himself. He got a tattoo of her name. They've known each other 8 weeks. He's had to call the police twice to get the car back from her after she borrowed it for days. And then last week, he signed it over to her, just handed her the keys and the title like it was a Christmas present. And he swears up and down she never asked for anything. Meanwhile, he's down $20,000 since meeting her. His credit score is in the 300s. And last night, he texted me at 1:43 a.m. "Hey, kiddo, quick question. If I sell the boat, you think that'll cover the next couple months?" The boat that he loves more than his own cholesterol. And here's the messed up part. Sometimes she'll show up at family meetings. Like last Sunday, at my aunt's birthday, she just appeared. Didn't even sit with him. Sat with my cousin's friends instead, all 20-somethings, scrolling her phone. My aunt tried to introduce her to grandma and she straight up said, "Oh, we've met." Kinda. And walked away. It's this weird push-pull. Like she doesn't actually want to be his girlfriend, but also somehow keeps him hooked. And he's glowing. Actually glowing. Like, I haven't seen him this happy in years, but it's the kind of happy where you're like, yeah, that's gonna end in an ER visit. And I keep asking myself, am I overreacting? Is this just a let him live his life situation? Or am I literally watching a scam in real time? So last weekend, I got roped into going to this casual BBQ at my dad's place. Except when I got there, it was not casual. There were fairy lights, a whole charcuterie spread, and Sarah in a white sundress like she was auditioning for a wine commercial. And she calls me sweetie now, in that tone people use when they're actually insulting you. Like, "Sweetie, you're gonna love this aioli. It's organic." I swear she looks at me like I'm the intern at her dad's company. Halfway through, dad's like, "Oh, we have an announcement." And my stomach actually dropped because I knew he was about to say they were getting married. But instead, Sarah goes, "We're moving in together." And then she looks at me, just holds eye contact like she's waiting for me to clap. I did not clap. Later, in the kitchen, dad pulls me aside and whispers, "Listen, I know you've had doubts, but she's the real deal. She's been through so much." And I'm like, "Cool. So why are you selling the boat?" And he just smiles. The smile was worse than yelling. Passive-aggressive text from dad, 9:02 a.m. Monday. "Just so you know, I'm a grown man, and I don't need your permission to be happy." Meanwhile, my brother Ben tried to bring it up in the family group chat, and it turned into a loyalty trap straight out of a reality show. Family group chat? Ben, has anyone else noticed dad's friend is, like, always there? Aunt Kathy? Ben, that's not nice, me. No, but... Aunt Kathy. She's been very polite to me, and frankly, you two sound jealous, Ben. Jealous of what? Kathy, dad, I see where this is going. You two should be ashamed. Me. Okay, I'm not doing this right now, Grandma. What's an aioli? Things started getting creepier. Like, Sarah will borrow my dad's phone to call her boss. And suddenly, his lock screen is changed to a selfie of her. I'll text him and she'll reply pretending to be him. No emojis, weird punctuation. Then later, he'll swear he never saw my text. And then there was the lost wallet incident. Dad said he dropped it at the grocery store, canceled all his cards, ordered new ones. But 3 days later, Sarah posted a mirror selfie in this expensive leather jacket, with his debit card peeking out of the pocket. When I sent it to him, he said, "Oh, she was just holding it for me." For 3 days? The worst was the baby shower. It was for my cousin Lena, who's 7 months pregnant, and somehow Sarah ended up hosting. There was this moment where Lena opened a gift from me, a handmade baby blanket, and Sarah just goes, "Ah, that's so rustic." Everyone laughed, but it felt like the air shifted. Later, Lena told me Sarah had joked to her that she and my dad might have a baby next year. Next year. But then there was this one night. I get a call from my dad at 11:30 p.m. He sounds panicked, like actually breathing hard. He says, "I think Sarah's in trouble. She's not answering her phone." I ask what happened. He says they had an argument about trust, and she left, and then someone sent him a screenshot of her at a bar with another guy. But by the time I get to his place, she's already back, on the couch, wearing his hoodie, acting like nothing happened. He's calm, too calm, and then he apologizes to her. The next day he texts me. I might have overreacted. She just has a lot of male friends. This is where I started feeling like I was losing my grip on reality. Like, am I being manipulated through him? Half the time I'm angry. The other half I'm wondering if maybe I'm the bitter daughter who can't handle her dad being happy. And then last night, I got a DM from a random account. No profile pic, just a screenshot of Sarah's Facebook messages. One of them says, "Don't worry, babe, he's selling the boat next week. We'll have the cash. It's timestamped yesterday." So the boat sold. He didn't even tell me. I found out because I saw a post on Facebook Marketplace with the exact same chipped blue paint on the side, and the caption, "Sold to a lovely young couple." Guess who the lovely young couple was? Sarah shows up at Sunday dinner in a silk dress that looks like it costs more than my car, carrying a designer tote with the boat's name embroidered on a keychain. Dad's glowing again, but in that manic way. Keeps calling her babe and topping up her wine like we're all auditioning for a Hallmark movie. And then, halfway through dessert, my uncle, who has no filter, asks, "So, did you two meet on Tinder or what?" Sarah laughs and says, "Oh no, we met in an Uber. I told him I was homeless and he just couldn't resist helping a damsel in distress." The whole table goes quiet, like dead quiet. Dad stares at her like she just recited a confession. She just smiles, takes another sip and says, "What? It's cute." Awkward post-dinner text from Ben. Was that supposed to be a joke? Me, I think she just admitted to manipulating him in front of everyone. Ben, LMAO me. Why are you laughing, Ben? BC, if I don't laugh, I will scream. Things started moving fast after that. 3 days later, Dad calls me to say he's taking a break from family for a while because the negativity is too much. Which, okay, except taking a break apparently means he blocked Ben and me on Facebook, muted our numbers, and then posted a couple's selfie with Sarah captioned "Good vibes only." I thought maybe he needed space. But then Aunt Kathy calls me whispering like we're in a spy movie and says she overheard Sarah telling Grandma that we were trying to get power of attorney over Dad's finances, which is insane. But Grandma apparently believed it because now she's calling me asking if I'm trying to steal my father's autonomy. I swear this girl is running a psyop on my entire family. The breaking point came at Lena's sip and see after the baby was born. I almost didn't go because I knew Sarah would be there, but I figured public setting, other people, maybe it'll be fine. It was not fine. Halfway through, Sarah takes it upon herself to give a toast. She thanks Lena for letting her be part of the family, and then says, "And soon there might be another little one joining us," while rubbing her own stomach. Dad's face is frozen in this weird half-smile, half-panic look. Lena drops her champagne glass. Grandma starts crying, and I'm standing there thinking, either she's pregnant or she just decided to nuke the entire afternoon for sport. Afterwards, catch Dad outside and ask if it's true. He says, "I don't know, she won't take a test." I'm like, "Then why?" And he just cuts me off because she said she might be, and that's enough for me. That night, I get another DM from the no-profile account. This time it's a video. Grainy, loud bar music in the background, but you can clearly see Sarah making out with some guy in a leather jacket. Timestamp, same night as the sip and see. I send it to Dad. No reply. Next day I'm blocked. I'm trying to figure out what to do because at this point, it's not just about him wasting money. It's like she's rewiring his brain in real time. And part of me wants to show up at his place, slam the video down in front of him and force him to watch it. But another part of me is terrified that if I push too hard, I'll lose him completely. And the worst part? Ben texted me this morning. Saw Dad's Insta story. They're in Vegas. She's wearing a ring. Vegas was worse than I thought. I didn't go, obviously. But I woke up to 37 missed calls from Aunt Kathy, 3 voicemails from Grandma sobbing, and 1 text from Ben that just said, "Holy shit, they actually did it. Married." Less than 90 days after meeting in the back of an Uber. My dad is now legally tied to a 21-year-old who once called my baby blanket rustic. The wedding photos are already up. She's in some rhinestone mini dress, holding a bouquet of red roses like she just won a reality dating show. He's wearing the same suit he wore to my high school graduation, grinning like he just landed a $1 billion deal. Caption, "Found my forever." 3 hours later, I get another DM from the no profile account. This time, it's a screenshot of an email to my dad. Subject line, final notice, payment overdue. It's from a loan company. Amount, $15,000. And in the body, there's a line about the joint application submitted by Daniel and Sarah. Joint. Application. My stomach drops because I know exactly what that means. I try calling him, blocked. Try from Ben's phone, blocked. Try from Mom's phone. He answers, but the second he hears it's me, he hangs up. Ben says we should let it crash and burn, that we can't save someone who doesn't want to be saved. But then Grandma calls, and her voice is shaking, and she says Sarah came by with some papers for her to sign. Grandma didn't sign them, thank God, but she's scared. And suddenly, I'm realizing this isn't just my dad's mess anymore. So I drive to his house, the blinds are closed, there's a different car in the driveway. Sleek, black, definitely not his. I knock, nothing. I knock again. Finally, the door opens just a crack, and there's Sarah, smiling like she's been expecting me. You really shouldn't come by unannounced, she says. I tell her I need to talk to my dad. She tilts her head and says, he's resting. We had a big night. I push past her. He's not there. The house looks empty, like half the furniture's gone. There's a stack of envelopes on the counter, loan statements, credit card bills, all in his name, and one open laptop, screen still glowing. It's a bank account. Balance, $43.17. I hear her behind me. You're making this harder than it needs to be. And for the first time in months, I feel something sharp and cold cut through all the panic. I turn, look her dead in the eye, and say, you have until Friday to give me his location. After that, I go to the police. She laughs. Actually, laughs. Oh, sweetie, she says, you think you're the first person to try that? And then she walks out. Just leaves. 10 minutes later, I get a text from the no profile account. It's an address, no message, just the address. I haven't gone yet. And I have no idea what or who is waiting there.